guys, welcome to Share the Truth. We are back with another video. I am super excited. We are going to be listening to Flowers for Vases. It is the second studio album by Hayley Williams, and she just released it on Friday. I did start listening to this album live with you guys. I thought it was super fun. I had so much fun. Thanks everybody that joined me on that. Went back, looked at the video. It's so blurry, but it's okay. We're gonna listen to the first 6 songs all over again. We did 6 songs live. We'll listen to it again on camera. I was really enjoying it so far, so all good. That's lyrically. I think I'm gonna say pretty much similar stuff, but let's see if I pick up anything else. Come on, guitar. First of all, I just want to note how she said the sound of his voice, and then she just kind of went into that, just hitting that as an example of the sound. I love literal stuff like that. Beautiful. Was it gentle or cold? Or maybe just noise? I heard what I wanted until I couldn't. And she says, I heard what I wanted until I couldn't. I absolutely love that line because I think it really embodies how we are when relationships start to go sour. We almost we go into a state of oblivion, and we don't want to acknowledge the fact that these things are happening, and we try to just, we hear what we want to hear, we put things towards our favor, we ignore the reality of the situation. And I love that lyric. It's so beautiful. This is grief. Ooh. This is a perfect post-breakup song. It's that process of the emptying of the past. You know, it's when you've done the breakup, everything's solidified, but then you have to go through that grieving process. And she's really capturing that so beautifully. It's like the first thing you let go of is the voice. You know, you get used to the fact that you're not going to hear this person's voice in the morning. You're not going to hear them finishing your sentences. You know, that's the first thing. And she's just going through the process of what happens in the process of getting over a breakup and then letting go of that person, the letting go process. Why do memories glow the way real moments don't? Oh, I just love this. I absolutely love this. The writing is just, she really pushed it. She really went above. I love that line. Why do memories glow the way real moments don't? It's all about that highlight reel. Our memories, they often become highlight reels, especially when we reflect on the past and we reflect on the fact that what we used to have isn't in front of us anymore. And when we think about that person, it's always the good parts. You know, it's the super cut, of course, our Lord fans. It's always that like perfect reality of what it was. I love this. Percussion too. First thing to go was the sound of his voice. That one I really liked. I think it's pretty straightforward, you know, what she's talking about. It's the grieving process. And I think it's that moment where you're just clinging on to memories and you're clinging on to what you used to have. And it's the letting go process in the sense that you don't even want to let go of the memories. You don't want to let go of thinking about the past. You don't really want to move forward. It almost be you almost love the process of missing them. You almost love the process of clinging on to the memories. And you don't know what your identity will be outside of missing this person and missing this relationship. It's like, who am I going to be after that? I love that line. And I should forget, but I love what's left. Because when you're at the end of a relationship, all you're thinking about is the good parts. So why would you even want to let go of that? So the next song is My Limb. I really like this one. This is sick. Let go. I love that. I love that. If you guys, I really like this vibe. It's giving me Meg Myers. Y'all need to go listen to Meg Myers. I love her so much. Okay, let's stop. I'm vibing. That's a problem. So what I had noticed about that first stanza is, if you gotta amputate, don't give me the tourniquet. You wish that I would run away, sever what isn't working. You know, she feels like this person is having her do the work of ending the relationship. That's what I get when I hear those lines. It's kind of a metaphor for her not wanting to be the one to take responsibility of the inevitable, of putting an end to this relationship. It's like, if you gotta amputate, don't give me the tourniquet. You wish that I would run away, sever what isn't working, but I'll let my body bleed out, leaning to my left side. If your part of me is gone, do I want to survive? It's like, I would rather die than be the person that have to amputate you from my life. You know, I don't want to do it because I don't know if I can even imagine surviving without you. So I'd almost rather just let myself bleed out than actually do what I know I need to do in order to survive, which is just like so mind-blowing if you think about that in a metaphorical sense. And the imagery of that is just like so crazy. Like, if you actually, when I hear the lyrics, I'm thinking of that scene of severing what isn't working and letting herself bleed out. That's just so much imagery. I love that. Let go. I love that. Oh my gosh. This gets better and better. Limping over dead leaves, I wish that they would cover me. Even though they're dead and she's limping, she still wants to be covered by it. It's just so perfect. Perfect. Voice sounds great. I love this freaking album. I love it. I'm curious who's on drums. the breathing. I hope this is a single. This is a single song. That needs to be a single. Love that. The next song is Asystole. I didn't know what that was, but in the live video, I found out, and it was intense. I remember like reading the most serious form of cardiac arrest, and it's usually irreversible. I mean, the minute I read that, I knew, I was like, this is going to be an intense metaphor. If you're comparing something to something that extreme, that is just, whoa, wow, 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 wow. Okay. Love the Spanish guitar. Ugh. Fucking love this album. This is great. Let me start it again. I missed that first line. Let me go back. Put this up. Oh, I love that. That first line. I don't live for you, I live for me. If only that were true. Wanting to be self-loving, wanting to be strong, but then in the inside, you know, no, not really, not really. It feels like we're talking to each other on the other line, but it's quiet here. Nothing playing but the song of Asystole. Gosh, beautiful. This is good. And I can't get my head. Ooh, piano. And I can't get my head to say anything my heart could ever understand. Having logic in the brain, but it doesn't always match the heart. Love that lyric. Beautiful. That's right. This is great, instrumentally. Oh, I love this. This is great. I love the fact that she uses the word revive to carry on that metaphor of the asystole. She's having a cardiac arrest, and he's the only person that can revive her heart, revive the love in me. Ugh, so beautiful. The poison devotion. I'm devoted was a poisonous devotion. Yeah, wow. She wants to be revived, but she calls it an asystole, which is the deadliest form of cardiac arrest. Do you see the metaphor there? Like, she's kind of aware that this is fatal. This is likely to be fatal, but she still feels like he's the only one that can revive her. I love that. Beautiful. Just my interpretation. I always have to say that. This is instrumentation. I love that. The ending. Gosh. She put a foot in it. Love it. I don't know. Somebody said this album was a grower. It's not a grower for me. I love it. This is my vibe. All right. So the next song is called Trigger. I think this is another one I've heard. on the live. Yeah, I just really related to this song because, like I said in my live, like as a poet, I really relate to the whole concept of feeling like if you create something creative out of that pain, that there's a reason for it, and you kind of get lost in this pattern of being like, well, at least I created some art out of it. But after a while, you're just like, well, who am I outside of that? If I'm always creating based on heartache and based on dark times in my life, then am I even going to create when things are great? How come you never put the safety on? I got the trigger, but you hold the gun. How come you never put the safety on? I've got the trigger, but you hold the gun. How come you never put the safety on? I feel like when she says trigger, she's not talking about the gun. She's talking about her being maybe she sees herself as a trigger in the relationship. But he holds the gun and he never puts the safety on, which means that it's kind of like a volatility in a sense. You're always equipped to shoot the gun. If you don't have the safety on, at any moment you can shoot. So she's kind of explaining that dynamic in the relationship. So what do people sing about once they finally found it? Yeah. Take it for granted, think of how they were better without it. I'd like to... See, that's what I was talking about. I just related to that so much. It's like, what do people do when they finally found it? If you've created art and you've created a lot of your existence based around heartbreak, for example, who are you outside of it? And sometimes if you're an artist, you can wonder, like, am I even going to be creative without the pain? And that's kind of a weird toxic cycle to kind of get in. That's what I'm getting from the song. But she vows never to be like that. She vows to appreciate it. And then she says, I'd like to imagine I'll never be like that, but if I'm honest, I know I already have. So that makes me think that maybe she had love and she took it for granted. How come you never put the safety on? Really, really nice. Quite enjoyed that one. It didn't like instantly click like the last couple songs, but I do like it. Okay, so next, Over Those Hills. Over those hills. I did want to note, she says, over the hills, I bet you're somewhere dreaming. I take my pills every night and in the morning. She's been really open about the fact that she takes antidepressants. So when I heard that line, I think that might be a reference to that. So Hayley Williams had the Serenades version of Petals for Armor, and I feel like she might have been inspired from doing that because I definitely feel like I'm getting serenaded right now, and I love it. What does this remind me of? Oh, I can't remember. Think of it. I thought that this was referencing a love of some sort, and she's imagining like what they could have, and imagining she's thinking of him, and she's wondering if he's thinking of her, and she's kind of picturing and idealizing like how they would be together. Her daydreaming, in a sense, daydreaming about what they could have together, this person. Good grief. So Hayley Williams has been really open about the fact that I am a big fan, by the way. So Hayley Williams has been really open about the fact that when she's stressed and she's going through stuff, she doesn't eat and she'll lose a lot of weight. And she says there's no such thing as good grief because there's that expression, good grief, and she's kind of playing on that by saying there is no such thing as good grief. It's kind of like an oxymoron. And then she says, skin and bones, when you're not near me, I'm all skeleton and melody. When this guy isn't with her, she doesn't eat and she writes music. So she's skeleton and melody. So she's becoming smaller and smaller through not eating. And she's also writing melodies because she's a musician. She writes when she's going through things. That's kind of how she processes her emotions. Sleep with you in a sex dream, and I'm pretty sure you don't. Sleep with you in a sex dream. Yep. One more time, play me something I won't sing. I'll be quiet. She's doing a lot of interesting outros on this album. The one thing I wanted to note is that line where she says, there's no such thing as good grief, took 2 months to pack your things. It's a slow process. It's very hard to pack someone's things and really mark that as the end of the relationship. It's a clearing of sense. It's a sense of clearing and letting go. And it's that contrast of, I'm sad that this is over, but I'm also proud of myself for moving on. I even love the fact that she talks about you sleep with you in a sex dream. I think that isn't really talked about, but that is a part of the grieving process, right? When at the end of the relationship, sometimes you think about them in an intimate way, and that doesn't mean that that's not part of it. You know, that doesn't mean that you need to go back or anything. And I love that she included that in the song, because it's such a vulnerable and transparent thing to say about how grief is not linear. Grief is not linear. You know, you can have your up and down moments. It can take you 2 months to pack your ex's things, but through that moment, through that process, that's how you get through it. Okay, so next is Wait On, which I've heard, and I thought it was really beautiful, beautiful personification. So let's listen to it again. Ah, I love the finger picking. Yep. Beautiful. I love that. I just love the way she's using this personification as a metaphor for her getting through this experience. For example, she's saying the sky will wake up every morning and sometimes feels the need to pour out. So when she says the sky will wake up every morning, she's talking about the sun rising, and sometimes feels the need to pour out. She's talking about occasionally it's going to rain, you know, and she says all the feelings it's been holding. So she's personifying the rain into the tears that fall from the sky, that are the feelings that the sky has been holding this entire time. But either way, it never comes down. But either way, it never comes down. It knows its place and knows a way around the clouds and their design. So she's saying, even though the sky cries sometimes, which she's using that a way of describing the rain, even though the sky goes through all these different processes, you never see the sky changes its position. The sky is always above you. You're not going to see the sky go through so much stuff that it comes down. The sky knows that its place is above. No matter what the sky is going through, it never changes its position. It knows what it's supposed to be and where it's supposed to be located. And so she's using that personification to describe herself. No matter what I go through and what experiences I have, that doesn't mean that I need to change as a person. I know my place. I know my design as a human being, which is so beautiful. So that's kind of just my interpretation. That's interesting. There was a bird who never flew, but she kept all her feathers so she could pluck them out for you. Birds pluck their feathers. I love birds, so I know a little bit about birds. Birds pluck their feathers out when they're stressed. Birds pluck their feathers out when they're going through things. And so the fact that she's saying this bird never flew, I mean, the whole purpose, the bird's identity, the bird's calling is to fly. But instead of flying, the bird is plucking out its own feathers to give it to this person so that they can put them in their hair. So she'd rather pluck her own feathers instead of flying. She'd rather pluck her own feathers and make that sacrifice for this person. K-Y-R-H.
Keep you right here.
Keep you right here.
Where the line is at my fingers.
That could just, I'm not sure. That was beautiful though. Her voice sounds great on this album. Not sure what that one is really hitting on, but I'm sure we're gonna find out more. I think it's more of like an interlude in a sense. Okay, so next is In Ordinary.
I don't want your concern as some consolation prize, and I don't want to be your friend, but just one of the guys. I'm nobody's. We left home when we were teens.
Oh, this is talking about the band. This is talking about when they left Franklin, Tennessee.
I grew bored of simple things. You gave me another chance. A renegade holding your hand. I was somebody's. I wasn't ordinary. I wasn't ordinary. I wasn't ordinary. I wasn't ordinary. In the ordinary. In the
Yeah, this is a really simple song. It's pretty. I think she's talking about her life trajectory, really. If you know anything about Hayley Williams being found when she was really young, I think she was about 14 or 15 when they found her. And she moved from, I believe, Franklin, Tennessee. And when she says I wasn't ordinary, maybe she's talking about the fact that she was gifted. She had the singing ability. She got plucked for her talent. And she goes back to Tennessee later on and she finds beauty in the ordinary, beauty in her life in a sense. I know that if I recall correctly, I think she does live in Nashville now. So she kind of had a full circle moment coming from Tennessee and then coming back. Often when you get discovered early, you feel like you're special, that there's something unique about you, but later on you find the beauty and you start to crave just kind of an ordinary life. So that's definitely some of the themes she's hitting on this song. Hey guys, welcome back. It may look like we just cut to another scene, but I got my hair curled, I had dinner, like a lot happened. Let's go to HYD.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That is hilarious. Sometimes you think about somebody and it's stupid, but it happens.
When the air is quiet and the sky is blue, I can't help be reminded of you and how your eyes are shut, so you cannot see just how very close I keep you to me. And in that dark little place, in a million years, never thought I'd see.
She's serenading us today. That's for sure. I could definitely see this as a prequel to Petals for Armor because I can see that she's still processing in the end of a relationship in this album, and I feel like Petals for Armor was more her processing herself, like her childhood, and like what got her to the point that she got, like what got her to the point that she is today. But I feel like this album specifically is processing and grieving the end of a very long-term relationship. That's kind of what I get from this album.
Habits you did.
Ooh, emotion.
How you doing?
Ooh, that is so heavy. I don't think she's talking about herself because she said something about the kid. So she's definitely talking about a different kind of relationship. She could be using this as a way of referencing stuff that she's seen in her life. Very pretty. That one, a lot of these songs, they're very mellow. I'm loving the guitar. And I think the more I listen to them, the more that they're gonna really stick in my head.
Nobody wants to be alone, but that is not why I want you. See, I've tried and I keep trying, but baby, it's no use, it's no use. I just love you. It's no use, I just love you. It's no use, I just love you.
This was pretty.
It's no use, I just love you. If I just wanted someone to hold, and really anyone would do. I close my eyes and really try not to turn on into you. It's no use, I just love 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 you. It's no use, I just do. It's no use, I just love you. 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 It's no use, I just love you.
Whew, that one was heavy. I just kind of let myself feel that one a little bit because I feel like it was very healing for me. I just let myself feel that one a little bit because I feel like it was very healing. In a weird way, it was kind of just acknowledging the feelings that you feel inside of you, even though maybe logic says that you shouldn't feel the way that you feel. I feel like the fact that she just kept repeating it, like it's no use. Obviously, she's put a lot of effort to stop loving this person and stop feeling this way about this person. And one of the things I've realized about love is that it may not ever go away. And just because you love someone, that doesn't mean that, you know, they should stay or not stay in your life. But that also doesn't mean that you should try not to love somebody. You know, does love always have to be reciprocal? Do you have to stop yourself from loving someone? And you can keep loving someone and move on. And so when I was really listening to that song, I actually kind of put myself in, you know, positions I've been in where I've tried to move forward from feeling something, and it's like you can't move forward from a feeling. You either feel some way or you don't, and that's how I felt with that. It was very, like I like to say, mantra, like just repeating those words over and over and over again, and having that acceptance and recognition of how you feel. So I felt that. It was very simple lyrically, and that's okay because sometimes it's just like a spilling of thoughts. Some of these songs feel very journal-like to me. It feels like Hayley was just spilling her emotions, extremely transparent, extremely vulnerable. And you can tell that this was written in the moment that she felt these emotions. Like they weren't reflective as much. Some of these songs seem like they just happened in the moment, and it's so special, and I really, really am appreciating this body of work. It's beautiful to me. Okay, let's find me here.
Can hold your hand now through delicate darkness you go. If I trespass.
Okay, so this actually sounds familiar. This was on the Self Serenades EP, and I did hear that EP. It was really beautiful, but apparently this is the Flowers for Vases version.
As long as I'm loving you, you'll never be alone. Long as you keep wanting me around. This is one trip you're gonna have to take alone. When you come back, you'll find me here where I belong.
Really pretty.
Soft like sand, sift through your hands. Memories we both agree are not reality. As long as you are loving me, I know I'm not alone. Even if you're nowhere to be found. Sometimes life takes you back to places you run from. I'll be right here if ever you come home.
That's pretty. I'm not sure what this is about, but it's definitely some kind of place of stability in a sense. She could be talking about herself, or maybe another person where she knows that she can always go back to them if she needs to. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll listen to Disconso, which means rest. Clearly don't speak Spanish, but this was not a Spanish channel, okay? Oh, wait, okay. It's telling me descansos are memorials set beside a place on the road where a person's life ended suddenly, or at the very least where their life was changed forever. Huh. Oh, like on the road? Oh. Oh, okay. So there's just gonna be an instrumental. That was beautiful, and I'm glad that I actually researched what the word meant and the translation, because I think that definitely added more power to the instrumental. I think for me, when I heard it, it was almost like a moment of reflection and a memorial of sorts when I heard the instrumental. Now that I know what the word meant in that context, I'm thinking that in the context of the album, it could be her grieving her former self, and maybe because this is a prequel, this could be where she kind of lets go and she sees this as her burying her past and seeing this as kind of like the symbol of her transformation and moving on and leaving this almost like this is like the death of a part of who she is. I think Just a Lover is going to be kind of turning the page. That's my guess.
Love is turning into many others. Now I guess I'm just a lover.
I like that shift in production where it kind of sounded like she was in her house singing, and then it shifted into the more professional audio. That's interesting. I was thinking when she said no more music for the masses, maybe she's referencing the time that we're in right now with the quarantine, how there's no more live music. I think this is probably right before, it feels like she's talking to a friend. It feels like she's talking to a friend and they're about to cross the boundary a little bit. I'm getting like, really hope you don't wreck this. I'm guessing that's maybe like not wrecking the friendship when you coming over. It's kind of, it's very alluring in a way. I think that this is that moment where you're just like, F it, we're gonna try and do something anyway. I'm getting kind of like a sexual vibe from it. It's like, just come over. I hope that we don't wreck this, but whatever, I want you regardless. I feel like this song is part 2 to Sudden Desire. Sudden Desire was her kind of like stopping herself the entire time from pursuing this person, this friend, or whoever it is that she's having this desire for. But I feel like this song, we're kind of getting this, I hope that this doesn't wreck anything, but you know what? Fuck it, I want to do it anyway. So I love that. I know exactly what this is, or whatever it was, or whatever it was. That's kind of leaving on a little bit of like a questionable note, as if just a lover. I'm thinking maybe she's aware that this isn't anything substantial. There's no significance to this. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, anything about the song, but that's kind of what I'm getting as my initial interpretation. But leave your comments. I want to hear what y'all think. I really enjoyed it. I definitely think initially my favorite songs were towards the beginning of the album, but then I also really loved the end of the album. I just might need to listen to the end a little bit more because I just love the guitar. It's so simple. It's so raw. I think the writing on here was really nice for a first listen. I actually liked this more the first time listening than I did Petals for Armor. And as we all know, Petals for Armor was one of my favorite albums last year. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you want more content like this. What should I react to next? And I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.